Have you ever felt like your emotions are storms you cannot escape? One moment calm, the next, a hurricane inside your chest. Fear, anger, anxiety, they crash like waves against your mind, leaving you lost in chaos. But what if you could stand in the eye of that storm, unshaken, untouched? Perhaps you've been there, arguing with someone you love, sitting in traffic as frustration boils, or lying awake at night, replaying mistakes you can't undo. Emotions pull you, twist you, consume your peace. You wonder, why can't I control myself? 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus faced the same storms. They asked the same question: how can we remain steady when life shakes us? Their answer was not to suppress emotions, but to master them, to ride the storm instead of drowning in it. In this video, you will discover 7 Stoic principles, timeless lessons to help you control your emotions with wisdom instead of willpower. You will learn not just to survive your storms, but to transform them into strength. By the end, you will not simply feel calmer. You will become unshakable. So take a deep breath. The storm is here, yes, but so is your strength. Let us step into the wisdom of the Stoics and learn how to master our emotions, one principle at a time. The first Stoic principle to master your emotions is this: you control your mind, not events. The storm outside may rage, but inside, you hold the helm. It is not what happens to us, but how we choose to see it, that determines our peace. Epictetus once said, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them." This truth strikes like lightning. It is not the insult, the rejection, the failure that destroys us, but our judgment of it. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of Rome, faced betrayal, war, and plague. Yet in his private writings he reminded himself daily, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." The emperor could not command the plague to vanish, but he could command his own mind not to despair. Imagine being stuck in traffic, horns blaring, frustration boiling. You cannot control the cars, but you can control your breath. You can choose to see it not as punishment, but as a moment to slow down, to listen to your own thoughts. The storm outside shrinks when the storm inside is stilled. The next time anger rises or fear grips you, pause and remember, you cannot always choose the storm, but you can always choose the helm. Ask yourself, what is within my control right now? That simple shift will return your power, and in that choice, you become unshakable. The second Stoic principle for mastering your emotions is this: change your perspective, and you change your world. The same event can crush one person, yet strengthen another. What makes the difference is not the event itself, but the story you tell yourself about it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When the mind shapes events with wisdom, even pain becomes teacher. When it judges harshly, even fortune becomes torment. Take Epictetus. Born a slave, crippled in body, he endured cruelty most cannot imagine. Yet he did not see himself as broken. He reframed his suffering as training, saying, "Difficulties show what men are." His perspective turned chains into lessons and hardship into greatness. Imagine losing a job. One person calls it the end, another calls it a beginning. The same event, 2 stories, one despair, one hope. Perspective is the lens through which reality is colored. Shift the lens, and the whole picture changes. When anger rises or sadness weighs on you, pause and ask, is there another way to see this? Perhaps rejection is redirection. Perhaps failure is instruction. By changing your perspective, you transform suffering into strength and discover the storm was never against you, it was shaping you. The third Stoic principle is the heart of emotional mastery. Control what you can, release what you cannot. Imagine carrying 2 bags, one filled with things you can change, the other with things beyond your reach. The heavier you cling to the second, the more crushed you become. Freedom comes when you learn to put it down. Epictetus taught, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not." These words are simple, yet they cut like a sword through confusion. When you accept this truth, You stop wasting energy on storms you cannot calm. During the Antonine Plague, Marcus Aurelius could not stop death from sweeping through Rome. But he could control his own duty, showing courage, serving his people, and writing words that still inspire today. He released what was beyond him and focused only on the helm in his hands. Think of a flight delayed at the airport. You cannot control the storm or the airline's decision, but you can control your reaction. Read a book, call a loved one, breathe. Those who resist the uncontrollable suffer twice, once from the event and once from their own frustration. The next time life throws you into turmoil, stop and ask, is this within my control? If yes, act with courage. If not, release it with grace. This is not weakness, it is wisdom. When you carry only what is yours to carry, you become lighter, stronger, and unshakable. The fourth Stoic principle is this: embrace discomfort as training. Life is not meant to spare you from struggle, it is meant to shape you through it. The Stoics knew that pain, challenge, and loss are not punishments, but weights in the gym of the soul. Seneca declared, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. The Stoic does not curse the trial, but welcomes it, knowing each hardship is a lesson written in fire. Cato the Younger, known for his fierce integrity, walked barefoot through snow with his soldiers, refusing comforts others took. To him, discomfort was not suffering, it was practice. He trained his spirit to remain free, no matter the hardship. Think of your daily life. You avoid discomfort, skipping the cold shower, ignoring the difficult conversation, staying in the comfort zone. Yet every time you step willingly into discomfort, you grow. Muscles tear before they strengthen. Souls are no different. The next time you feel discomfort, pause and smile. See it not as punishment, but as practice. Ask yourself, what strength is this shaping in me? Every storm you endure without breaking becomes a fortress wall within you. Embrace discomfort and watch yourself grow unshakable. The fifth Stoic principle is this: practice gratitude and presence. In a world chasing what is missing, the Stoics train their eyes on what is already here. Gratitude is not weakness, it is power, because it anchors you to the present instead of drowning you in regret or craving. Seneca wrote, "He is a great man who uses earthenware as if it were silver, and silver as if it were earthenware." Gratitude does not require abundance. It transforms the simple into the sacred, the ordinary into the extraordinary. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, slept on a soldier's bed during campaigns. In his writings, he reminded himself, do not hanker after what is not given. He trained gratitude not for palaces or riches, but for breath, for duty, for dawn itself. Picture this: you scroll endlessly on your phone, comparing, wanting more. Yet the most powerful act is to pause, to notice your breath, your coffee, the sunlight on your window. The Stoic does not wait for perfection. They choose gratitude now, and presence becomes their shield. Tonight, before you sleep, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Not what you hope for, not what you regret, only what you already hold. Gratitude transforms perspective, presence transforms power. Practice them daily, and storms lose their grip on you. The sixth Stoic principle is this: define your purpose with clarity. Without purpose, emotions scatter like leaves in the wind. With purpose, even storms cannot move you. Purpose acts like gravity. It anchors, it pulls, it gives weight to your every step. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "He who has a why can bear almost anyhow." The emperor knew that when the purpose is strong, the weight of life becomes lighter. A clear why steadies the heart when everything else shakes. Epictetus, once a slave, found freedom not in circumstance but in purpose. His purpose was wisdom, teaching others to live freely within. That purpose became his fortress. Though he had little control over his chains, he had absolute control over his direction. Think of a ship in the ocean. Without a compass, waves toss it endlessly. With a compass, even in storms, it moves forward. Life is the same. Without purpose, emotions control you. With purpose, emotions serve you. Anger becomes courage. Fear becomes caution. Sadness becomes reflection. Tonight, write down your why. Not vague wishes, but a sentence of clarity. I live to. With that compass, every storm becomes a test, not a terror. Define your purpose and watch how your emotions, once wild, begin to orbit around it like planets around a sun. The seventh Stoic principle is this: end with reflection and preparation. The Stoics knew that mastery is not built in moments of triumph, but in the quiet discipline of examining the day, learning from mistakes, and preparing the mind for tomorrow. Seneca advised, each day, we should call ourselves to account. What better habit than to examine all we have done? Reflection is not self-punishment, it is self-mastery. To see clearly is the first step toward growing steadily. Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, ended his nights not with wine or indulgence, but with writing. His meditations are proof of a habit, to look back at his choices, to correct his course, to prepare his soul for the next dawn. Reflection was his armor. Picture yourself at day's end. Most scroll through endless noise until sleep claims them. But the Stoic pauses. A few minutes of reflection transforms the chaos of the day into clarity. Reflection is like sweeping the mind clean, so tomorrow begins on solid ground. Tonight, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well? What could I improve? What will I face tomorrow? Reflection turns mistakes into lessons, victories into gratitude, and fear into readiness. With this habit, each day becomes a step upward, and you become unshakable. You have now walked through 7 Stoic principles. Control your mind, shift perspective, hold only what you can, embrace discomfort, practice gratitude, define your purpose, and reflect daily. Together, they form a fortress within, a place no storm can reach. Storms will come, life will shake, but you are not powerless. Each principle is a weapon, each practice a shield. You are stronger than your anger, wiser than your fear, deeper than your sadness. You are unshakable. Do not let this wisdom remain words. Tonight, reflect. Tomorrow, practice. Write down your why. Face discomfort. Choose gratitude. Carry only what is yours. This is how philosophy becomes life, when it is lived, not just learned. This is Stoic Miracles, where ancient wisdom meets modern strength. Carry these principles with you, and remember, storms may rage, but within, you are unshakable.